Hey there, viewers! Ingesting your food is crucial to your health. Similarly, these foods need to be excreted from your body. Without excretion, your gut will be filled with toxic waste. It can hamper your intestines and cause problems for your bowel movements. Yet, some people still try to hold it in. Now the question is, how long can a person hold in their poop? We're talking all that and more. Let's begin with something basic. How many times do you need to excrete in a day? Your intestines need to eliminate toxic waste to keep your body healthy. When that doesn't happen, the toxic waste gets stuck in your intestines, causing further issues. To play it safe, you need to excrete regularly. Luckily, there's no standard rule on how many times you need to do it. Depending on your lifestyle and food habits, it could be anywhere between 1 to 3 times a day. If by any chance you happen to do it more than 3 times a day, there could be digestive problems. The same can be said if you don't have a bowel movement even once in 3 days. So what could happen if you don't go regularly? A lot of complications related to your digestive system, starting with Number 1. Toxication of liver. While holding your stool may not be directly toxic, it can be quite dangerous indirectly. We did a separate video on signs your liver is full of toxins. Check it out. When you don't go for days and it collects in your intestines, it begins to harden. As this happens, the stool becomes difficult to pass. Then your stool could block the excretion tract. If this continues over time, the toxic waste won't leave your body. It'll start impacting your intestines, followed by your stomach. Finally, your liver will become infected. You'll need to seek medical attention when this happens. Such cases can often lead to infection and inflammation. If you happen to experience this, don't keep it to yourself. Number 2. Problems with bowel movements. When a lot of stool gets stuck in your intestines, your eventual bowel movements will be affected. This happens due to the pressure the waste creates in your intestines. Due to the pressure, parts of the intestine may tear. This can cause internal injury. Doesn't that sound scary? It doesn't end there. In many cases, after the stool has been processed, it may leak from the intestines. This can then spill into your abdominal cavity. That isn't a good thing, due to the fact that your stool contains acids and bacteria. These bacteria can cause infection in your abdominal cavity. Even acids can cause problems for your internal organs. These scenarios often turn out to be life-threatening. Therefore, we wouldn't suggest holding on to your stool at all. Until now, we've only been discussing stomach-related problems. The next one's a little different. Number 3. Cardiovascular problems. Slightly shocked? A disruption of regular bowel movements could cause problems for your heart. When you hold it in, it creates pressure on your gut. This pressure causes a spike in blood pressure levels. When there's a spike in blood pressure, it affects the veins, arteries, and blood vessels. In many cases, this develops into hypertension, which is followed by heart-related issues. But there's more. The pressure created by the waste in your intestines increases your body's stress levels. Stress is often considered a risk factor to cardiovascular disease. In many cases, it even causes constipation. This is another gut-related problem that's also not good for the heart. Don't worry though, not everyone who holds in their number 2s is known for having heart attacks, but it does increase your chances of having heart-related problems. This reminds me, we need to speak in detail about constipation. Number 4. Constipation. As we explained earlier, due to the toxic waste stuck in your intestine, it could be impossible for you to have a successful bowel movement. In many cases, this leads to constipation. When that happens, your body starts releasing gases like hydrogen and carbon dioxide. These gases cause problems for your eyes, head, and lungs. That's not the only problem. These gases also retain water in your gut, as well as cause gastrointestinal problems. However, you can get rid of this constipation. The first step towards doing that would be cutting off dairy products. Yes, milk, cheese, and butter might be very nutritious, and you may not be lactose intolerant. Yet, if you have constipation, it would be smart to avoid them until this issue has been fixed. Another important thing to do would be to drink a lot of water. While different people require different amounts, we suggest you drink at least half a gallon each day. The water you drink will put pressure on your excretory system, forcing the stool out. Now let's get to the next issue that occurs when you say no to pooping. Number 5. Nausea. If you're not able to excrete normally, you'll feel nauseous. Why? Well, when you eat something and you're not using the bathroom, your intestines are too full to make room for more. As a result, there's no room in your stomach for taking in more food. If you force yourself to eat anymore, your stomach will try to throw it out of the body. This is where vomiting occurs, but this is just a possibility. Alright, enough of this. Let's talk about another very important question, one we wanted to know in the beginning. How long can you hold your poop? There's no particular number you have to maintain. It's not like if you don't go today, you'll definitely get a stomach problem. That's not how it works. There's no particular cycle for excretion. Infrequent stools or no stool in 2 or 3 successive days means that you have constipation. This is worsened by the fact that you're not drinking enough water. Another factor to highlight is that our bodies and diets are all different. While some can hold on to their stool for only 2 days, others might be comfortable doing it for 3. There are a few things that you need to consider though. For example, let's assume you haven't gone for 4 or 5 days, but you're eating as you usually do. If this is the case, I would suggest seeing a doctor. If you go more than 3 days without excretion, your gut is not healthy. As a matter of fact, there was a news report about a girl who died after not using the bathroom for months. According to that report, she refused to use the toilet. Not out of choice, I may add. She did so out of fear of toilets. While this may not sound very serious, it turned out to be quite ugly for the youngster. She didn't have a bowel movement for about 8 weeks. One day she suffered from a heart attack and died. If you've already reached this part of the video, you'll remember how avoiding number 2 is related to heart problems. Well, now you have an example. Having said that, you might be in a situation where you're forced to hold it in. If this is the case, try not to extend it more than a day, because it's always better to play safe than sorry. So do you hold your bowel movements too often? Have you ever had to consult a doctor because of it? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear from you. Enjoyed this video? Hit like, share, and subscribe to Bestie. Wait! What kind of bestie are we if we don't tell you about our other awesome videos? Go ahead, choose the left or right video, and enjoy.